Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Hope all is well on this Sunday afternoon. I'm back with part two on things that we were talking about business recession and things like that. So we're going to make sure everything is good with the recording. Alrighty. Now, first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Sandy, your business strategist. I help you to market, brand, and strategize your business. I help you to get your ideas into the marketplace. I help you to set up your businesses, and also I help you to go ahead and strategize, get everything together so where you can make a profit in your business. And I have been doing this for about 15 years, helping clients do this to help them grow their businesses. And I've also owned two salons myself, so I am one of the ones out here that I'm not talking about it. I'm being about it because I have been there, done that. So I have the qualifications. So anyway, if you have a question, you can please ask it during this broadcast, and I will be able to answer it after I finish for Q&A. So make sure that if you have a question, I'll be able to answer. And if you're listening to this on the replay, please still leave your question. I will answer it then as well, later. And I appreciate you for being here. Now, let's get back into yesterday. I want to recap. I kind of told you some things that you definitely need to do in order to get your business up and running and to get yourself recession proof. And simply because what you have to do is get all of the foundational pieces together before you can get out here and launch and do other things like get government contracts with through your business and things, other federal government contracts, getting grants and things like that. So even getting business credit, building your business profile so where you can get other people's money. OPM is what they call it, but you'll have your structure set up and you'll be qualified to do that. Now let's get into we kind of basically I talked about products before I ended yesterday, and I want to elaborate on that a little bit today. So we're going to start with products and services, and I mentioned to you that with products and services, you want to make sure that you, for instance, decide on which one you're going to have in your business, and whether it's going to be all both. It doesn't matter, either way. If your business model can support that, then you do it. But you got to make sure that you are coming up with the price that you want to have your product. There's a strategy to that. You don't just look on somebody else's price that is selling the same product that you are, and use their particular model for their particular prices and price your products. That way you don't do that. That is not the way you do your business. So, and that's a good way for you to be out of business because your overhead may be different from theirs, and you may have different you know structures of paying. You may have employees that you have to pay, or you may, your products may, your ingredients, if you have a product that you have to create, it may be a little bit more, than the person that you're copying their model. So you have to use your own particular fixed costs and then come up with your pricing. So I share all of that with my clients, but this is something that I definitely want you to know that is so important. So don't price your products that way. You have to think about how much you may possibly, if you're going to pay yourself, right off the bat, you gotta include all of that, and then you gotta figure all of that up and get your break even analysis and things like that. So that's a little bit more behind the scenes stuff that I know that you need to know about business. So that way you'll be prepared for that. Now, even with a service business, it's the same way. You have to definitely do find out what's your billable hours. Let's say, for instance, you come up with a guide or either a margin of what you're going to charge a person for their services per hour or anything like that. Then you have to include that, and you have to use that as your your guiding point too. You you're measuring, you the measure how you're going to price your products, and that's what I'm conveying to you now. And then also your overhead or whatever you with the physical product, it may not be as much as over, like, especially for those that have a digital product. If you have a digital product out there, you you don't have certain overheads as if you would if you would have a brick and mortar, because a digital product is a little bit different. And then you want to make sure that you include all of the time it took for you to make that product, your research, whether what kind of systems you're going to use, and you know what other tools that you're going to use for getting that particular product to market. So that's kind of like how that's done. All righty. Now, and this way you can recession proof your business. Now also, the next thing I want to share with you and I want to talk to you about is your knowing the resources that you need to use in order to kind of find out what's going on in your market. And remember, you don't fail to plan. I mean, you don't plan to fail, you fail to plan. So in this process of planning anything to make a profit and stop shortcutting yourself in business, you need to make sure there's another thing that you need to do, which is number two. You need to make sure that you're doing your research. You need to make sure that you're connecting with the particular resources for your industry. For instance, if you're in the industry, let's say, for instance, if you're doing, I would say, let's say a childcare center or something like that. If you are in the midst of, you want to have a childcare center, your daycare or whatever, then you are to go and the resources that it's affiliated with having that, like the Department of Education and things like that. You need to make sure that you know what's going on, you know the forecast of the industry, you know the stats, you know the history, you know the details of what maybe the projection of the next 5 years and what it's been in the past. You need to know those things in order to make sure that you are, you know how to plan for your particular venture, your particular business. And that goes with any business that you're thinking about doing. You definitely want to know the forecast. You need to know what's going on with the Department of Labor, hiring forecast. And that's why a lot of times with let's say for instance, let's use even this right here, like a lawn care service. If you have a lawn care service, you may want to check out what's going on with the weather, and that the weather patterns and things like that. Finding out through the weather, that there's finding out different things through other agencies and other resources that can tell the prediction of it, and maybe what they're projecting of for is the rain in the future and things like that. And then you can know when is your peak season, or when is your seasons that you may not be doing so well, because you won't have as many clients, because you can't doing too much lawn care service in the rain. Now let's take the instance with the daycare that I gave an example of earlier. With that, finding, you will want to know the resources that you need to know about that, because let's say for instance with the child care, you want to find out how many babies were born, and how many children were born, and things like that. How what the birth rate is. When is the sometimes you can kind of tell. It was more children born a certain time of year, and was there, what's the projection of, you know maybe teen pregnancies, or things like that. You definitely want to know. There's a lot of things that you may want to know. And just like, for instance, with this thing about abortion and things like that, you may want to learn and find out what's going on with that. Kids in foster care. There's ways that you can find out who's going to be your target market. Okay. So that's why you need to know the information in your field and finding out different resources. There's many, many more. But when I work with my clients one on one, or either we work in a course or class or whatever, I go over this more and I give you the specifics to your business. So this is just a general idea and a general way of finding that. And then, like I said, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. So, in order to be able to be on top of and that's why on top of any business that you're embarking on or going into, this is why it's so important to plan. Whether your business plan, whether you do a one-page business plan, or whether you do a 40 or 50-page business plan, you definitely need to have a direction, or have a roadmap on where you're going. Because if you don't, any road will take you somewhere else, not there, but somewhere else. Now, the next thing we want to talk about, elaborate a little bit more, is as you are establishing your business and as you are building. Yesterday I mentioned about building a team in your business. If you're going to grow your business, you definitely need to have it, at least keep in mind and thinking about it. Maybe having additional help. Because whatever it is, because you need that manpower in order to be able to multiply 2x, 4x, 5x, 10x, whatever. You need that manpower to do it. And then getting prepared for that, you definitely need to know the laws. You need to know, you know, your pool, you're educated. If you need someone with certain expertise or certain skill sets, you need to know. Let's say, for instance, if you're going to hire someone in your specific city or your specific area, you definitely would want to know how many people, what is the education pool there, how many people are, you know, going into that field, and how many people are out there, where you're going to find them from to be able to fulfill that particular, that particular job description that you will create, and that you will need to be able to, to be able to fill your manpower needs for whatever, whatever job that, or whatever business that you have, and you're going to need that additional help. Now, and you also need to make sure that you know and what it's going to cost you, the tax, liability, and the benefits of having employees. Did any of you know why Jeff Bezos didn't really have to pay any taxes here come last year? They really horn in and talked about that. Well, the reason why he really didn't have to pay any taxes is because he hired a lot of people, and they were paying the taxes. That Okay, they were paying the taxes. His business taxes was probably almost non-existent, because he hired so many people. And I say that to you, if you have to hire anybody if you have to hire anybody for your business, well, then the more people you have as employees that will be paying taxes out of that pool, payroll taxes that is, the less you will have to pay as a business owner. So, if you have a good CPA, that's the benefit of that. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. And just definitely, there's so much, definitely knowing how many people, what you can get out of, of an employee, what's the cost benefit of that employee, how much can you make from that particular employee for, in a day's work. you know how much will they can that one person produce for you in the manpowers that you hire them for. And then you have to, there's all kind of calculations that you have to figure out in all of this. So, here again, if you have to go that far, maybe you don't have to know the specific, and then running your business like a manufacturing facility or things like that, but you definitely need to know the basics of it, if nothing else. So that is, and then also having benefits and taxes, and I'm not taxes, I'm sorry, having benefits and insurance, and protecting your company liabilities from a liability standpoint, and things like that. So you want to make sure that you are aware of all those things as well. Now, and then also, one more thing I do want to share with you too is, when you're building a team, make sure that your team is well qualified. And like I mentioned to you yesterday, the qualified your team is, the better the better you are. If you're looking for investors in the future, you're looking for a business loan, making sure that they are qualified to do what you need them to do is going to be advantageous for you. It's going to be in your plus and in your favor. So that's something that you don't want to forget about, and that's something that you want to keep in mind when you are out here growing your business. So stop shortcutting yourself with business. Make sure that you cover everything, all of your tracks. You cover everything that you need to cover when you are trying to grow your business, and when you're working on like I said, just trying to really make money from a, from a I mean, from a growth standpoint, and not trying to just cut corners, nickel and dime, and hiring people that are not qualified, and you know, just trying to find a shortcut around it. If you're going to grow to beyond your wildest imagination and growing your business in a way that, a lot of these big companies no different than you. They really aren't. It's just that the way they've structured their business and the way they think about growing their businesses. Okay. And then two, one more thing I want to say is reinvesting back into your business, using some of the funds a percentage of your funds that you use to grow your business. I mean, that you use that's coming in as profits, go ahead and reinvest it in your business. In your business, that's it can grow in an accelerating pace if you do that. Yeah, it really will. It really would. Well, okay. Now, if I didn't see any questions up here in my little screen up here, so definitely I'm going to definitely that will be it for today, and I will see you tomorrow. And also, just to remember that the things that I said, that there's more to it than, there's an additional to that. But if you are want to be a part of the community and get the videos and get more educational videos from a standpoint of being more specific in just what I shared with you here, please, please, please make sure you go and follow the community. It's the third button, and it says that, if you want to join the community of Push to Dream, I give out videos, and I have videos in the vault that I make sure that I share with those that are a part of us, a part of the community here at Push to Dream Enterprise with Sandy, Biz Strategist Sandy. So it's the purple button. It's the under business strategist. It's the second button that says grab. Actually, it's the third button. I'm sorry, the white button that says get your business weekly tips here, and then also you can and I got a new text. My text. Let me see what's my number. Y'all give me a second because I gotta. It's I want you to be able to text me too because you get a free gift once you text. You text, and it's a new number of mine, so I don't know about heart yet. But once it's coming up, I'm gonna give you the number. So wait, if you want to text and get the information, and you want to stay on, you want to be in the loop and stay in the know of things like that too. Dep Things that I have coming up, will definitely be able to you can be able to text me, and it's going to be at 833. Let's see here, 833. It's coming up. 833. We are and we have free classes and videos and things like that for you. So this takes Push to Dream to 833-247-6465. It's 833-247-6465. Okay. All right. So that's my new text number that you can text me to. And once you text, if you want to be a part of the community, and once I drop a video or drop some information that's going to help you and have anything coming up, events or anything like that, you'll be the first to know. That's 833-247-6465. Alrighty. See you next time in the next video. And remember, you were created for greatness. You have greatness in you. You are created for greatness. And don't let anybody tell you any differently. And keep God first. And you'll go amazing places in this world. Amazing places. Alrighty. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.